Tinsel Tine's mini movie review for Land, which is a directorial debut for actress Robin Wright, who most of us know from The Princess Bride and Forrest Gump and House of Cards, but many, many other things. Um, After watching this movie, the first thing that I thought was, if you want to kill yourself, there are far less torturous ways to go about it. So Edie is a woman suffering from some very weighty loss. We find out at the end of the movie what that loss entails, but at this point, all we know is that she can't stand to be around people, not even her supportive sister. So she decides to abandon what's left of her life. She tells no one of her plans and heads to a very remote mountain. It's never clear exactly how far she's strayed from home, but it seems like it's a pretty long drive to get to just to the place where she meets up with the man that she's bought or rented this cabin from. And then he tells her to follow him in her vehicle because she'd never find the cabin on her own. And that's a very long drive up this deserted mountain. While she was in the city, she's already checked her cell phone. And now she tells this cabin renter guy to have someone come and get her car. And he protests and says, she needs a way to be able to get off the mountain in case of an emergency or to go buy groceries, or, she's a woman alone. She shouldn't just be up there with no way out. But she's determined to be in total isolation. And then we meet the cabin, which is another character in the film. And it's drafty and dirty and unappealing and messy. And I just kept thinking, she doesn't have enough layering on under her coat. Like, I know if it were me, I'd have gone out of my mind that first night, like listening to sounds in the woods and not being able to warm, anything, not getting warm or comfortable on that cot. And then, of course, immediately things go from bad to worse. She can't chop wood. She can't, fish. She's, bears attack. It's just awful. Edie is, of course, a natural city dweller, but she's still no cream puff. And have you ever noticed Robin Wright's hands are kind of mannish? So it was kind of like you could kind of picture her in this setting. Nevertheless, like, extreme wilderness living takes a really stout and hardy type to survive. But then, of course, at her darkest moments, thankfully, she's discovered by a local, Miguel, played by Demian Bashir. And then after which, the tone of the movie lightens up a lot. And also the look of the cabin. All of a sudden, it seems really cozy and quaint. But you never see either of them doing any work on the cabin. So the only way I've been able to justify it is, I suppose it's sort of like a trick of the mind, like the comfort of the cabin changes with her perspective. Because after Miguel enters her life, who she keeps at a distance, she definitely doesn't like welcome him in, but he is a big help to her. And then it just seems like it becomes much more habitable or hospitable. Wright was smart to work with a terrific cinematographer, Bobby Bukowski, for her first time out as a director, because a lot of the landscapes and the atmosphere really fill in where maybe the story is a bit lacking. I found out that they lived on the mountain while shooting. And found out that she hadn't intended to direct herself. She was going to direct the movie, but she wasn't going to star in it. But I don't know, the timing of things worked out that they hadn't found the right actress to play Edie in time. So then she agreed to play the part. When asked what drew her to the story, she said she felt it was important to show human resiliency in the face of all the loss being experienced in this moment with the pandemic, and also how much we need each other, even when you think you can go it alone. Tinsel Tine's large-ass movie blogging rating, 3 out of 5.